And welcome back to FlowState on this crystal clear day. We've been inundated with fucking dust from the Sahara Desert. It's called Kalima. It's debilitating at times and generally unpleasant. So I'm really grateful to be in this crystal clear, fresh air. And I hope you've had an incredible week. And today we're dropping in to another weekly vibe, time management and prioritization, something that I believe we can all improve upon, including myself. I never stop learning. I'm always trying to refine my systems, get things looking more clear in the future, and not having to think too much about what it is that I am supposed to be doing. And this is a particularly poignant week because this is something that was at the forefront of the development of the growth blueprint, something that is really powerful. And I think you're going to get tremendous value from this episode. As always, thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for walking down to the ocean with me. And I want to take this opportunity and encourage you to review the show notes. The links are there for you to take action on. We go live every Thursday within Everyday Action. It's free for now to join. All you have to do is click the link, type in your email and your name, and that's it. And well, obviously show up on Thursday. That's the most important part. But just taking action alone really creates momentum. And that's at the core of what we're doing, is creating momentum for everybody. And you really are stronger in community when you can latch on to big concepts that resonate within you and have support that you are looking for within the community, which is a great way to amplify growth. It's not just about, I just want to take a moment here and just, this is fucking spectacular today. I'm so giddy. It literally was covered in fucking dust. Like the whole thing was just gross, dusty. It's like going into your great grandparents' house in the fucking basement, you know, something that's been locked away for 800 years. I can't even breathe. Fuck. This is so great. And so anyways, I digress. If you're new here, if you're just clicking on this thumbnail and the video and you're like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? Everyday Action is the name of the channel. My name's Eric, and I'm a personal development and life coach, focusing on leveraging guidance practices and concepts and coaching. So systems, as well as more philosophical, nuanced, high-level thinking. And I've merged the two to create my own particular style of personal development and coaching, one that's grounded in a curriculum called the Growth Blueprint, which is a course that's available as well, and is the basis of my guidance and coaching practice. We walk through every new client I work with. We start with a foundational reset, which is going through the Growth Blueprint. We start by first assessing where we are, so a reality check. Then we create a foundation of vitality. This is really important because without the energy within us, we're not really able to take on greater challenges in our life. After energy, we focus, and I should also say that vitality is about leveraging your knowledge base to be more proficient with nutrition, with rest, with recovery. Those are two different things, as well as physical fitness. You are responsible for creating your own energy. This is vital. After vitality, we move on to core values. Without core values, you're kind of just ping-ponging around the world, reacting to every whim that is being projected in front of you, whether you're conscious of it or not. You are either choosing your values or they're being chosen for you. We go deep into this because it's really the foundation for all of the mental growth that will ensue. After that, we get clear on our mindset. This was last week's topic, in fact. Get really clear on your mindset. Growth-oriented thinking as opposed to contracting, limiting beliefs. We go deep there as well. After that, we talk about time management and prioritization. This is what we're talking about today. Then we get clear on aligned action, having goals that we can sink our teeth into way down in the future, part of our dream and envisioning of our future self based on our vitality, based on core values, a better understanding on how to manage and leverage time. We're fucking cooking, baby. After that, we refine our systems and we essentially start over, making sure that we're on track, holding ourselves accountable, and moving towards our goals. After the full process is done with one-on-one coaching clients, we go deep into executing the things that are most relevant to the clients in their life. This is where the accountability comes in, the aligned action from a third party to help refine and ensure that the tools and systems that are available to the clients are being leveraged in the moment that they need them most, not when things are going well. It's so easy when things are going well, but we're not here to talk about easy. We're here to talk about challenge. And when we are confronted with challenge, we have two options. We can either succumb to the overwhelm or fucking kick that motherfucker down and take aligned action. So that's what we're all about. And the community is here to support that as a collective. We are stronger together. The more people engage, the more people share, the more people lead with pure love and authenticity, the more we can all support each other and the faster we all rise together. That is the end game of community supporting growth. Because at the end of the day, we have jobs, we have life, we have kids, we have fucking relationships with the in-laws, we have brothers, sisters. All of this is always pulling us, sucking us dry of every morsel of energy. And we want to make sure that we are safeguarding everything that we do in life to be able to amplify the work we do so we can be in greater service to others. But you can't do that if you're still operating from a deficit. So if you're interested in amplifying the human experience for yourself and the world around you, drop into the show notes, click some links, and let's get this fucking party started, all right? Do yourself a favor. Time management and prioritization. Here we fucking go. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. I mean, it's like a fucking broken record. The world operates on this illusory, made up fucking system. And whether you like it or not, you're a participant. It's like a forced game that no one asked you permission whether you wanted to join or not. It was just like, you're getting signed up. It's like fucking opening your inbox and having like 35 different email subscriptions delivered in there that you never asked for, but you somehow can't unsubscribe. That's operating in clock time. Now, our sensory perception is wild because you have a different perception of time. I have a different perception of time. Your 5 minutes is fucking way different than my 5 minutes. You know, you'll be in the car with someone driving and be like, oh, how much time has elapsed since, you know, we pulled over? We're like, I don't know, a half hour. It was like, oh, fuck, it was like only 5 minutes. It's crazy. And so the reality is that we all have 24 hours in a day. That's clock time. There's no debating it. There's fucking science is clear. And so what you're doing with that time, hopefully you're in bed for, 8 to 9 hours, and hopefully sleeping for 8 hours. And, obviously, if you're in bed for 8 hours, there's no way you're sleeping for 8 hours. So hopefully you're in bed for 9 hours and you get 8 hours of sleep. On average, between 7 and 9 hours is the range of where you should be focusing on getting adequate sleep. This is, again, we spoke about this 2 weeks ago when we were talking about vitality. And I should just mention as well, if you're paying attention, that the cycle of my content rhythm is every 12 weeks. So we go through effectively a 12-week cycle where we talk about the growth blueprint. The growth blueprint, the core pillars, and we go deep every week. And the weekly content rhythm is based around one topic. So last week was mindset mastery. This week, time management and prioritization. All right. So our brains constantly play tricks on us. We think we're good at managing time. And, I would say some people are, most people aren't. It's a learned skill. It's not something that a lot of people, I think about in terms of how they can improve their time management. Because the reality is that your calendar is your life. End of story. Whether you're active in scheduling things or whether you're just reactive to the tasks, the to-do lists, the time that you have scheduled to be at work or school, whatever the case may be, there are events that come up in your life that you have scheduled, whether you have them written down, you use a calendar, phone, or paper, pen, post-it notes, whatever the system is, you have one. And so my goal today is to be able to create an opportunity for you to think differently about how to effectively manage time and see it as a leverageable asset in your life to be able to accomplish more with less, and to ensure that you have the tools and strategies to be able to effectively prioritize the tasks in your life that are going to move the needle for you. And so this is going to be different case by case. And the idea is that you're grounding everything in your core values. So if you haven't watched that FlowState podcast, I would encourage you to do so. And if you're keen to go deep on it, then the growth blueprint is available for you in the show notes. So time management is a fascinating subject because for the vast majority of people who are going to a more traditional job where there are hours that are locked in, whether it's a rotating schedule or whatever, it kind of doesn't matter. You have your hours that you're responsible for showing up for. And in general, you have an outline of work that you're focused on, and whether you're doing a retail work or more corporate type job, you have a general strategy to your day. It's not just like willy-nilly. Now, you may be responsible for setting this up. You may have a boss that tells you, okay, today we're doing this, this, and this. And then ultimately how you manage your time is your responsibility. Then there are other people who are entrepreneurs where they have no quote unquote boss, but they have to rely on their skill set to be able to effectively manage their time, because they know that they need to get all of this stuff done, which relative terms is not a possibility to accomplish everything you want in one day. And so you rely on traditional methods like to-do lists and things like that. Well, you have, ouch. Sorry. Got a little rock in my shoe. Here, while I'm out here, you can enjoy the view. A little rock in my shoe. And enjoy the view. Ooh, look at this boat over here. This thing is hauling ass. It's pretty cool. Looks like there's a helicopter on the back of the thing. Okay. Oh, fuck. All right, here we go. So, to-do lists are either a catalyst for emotional instability and chaos, or they're an indicator of items that have been premeditated that you are committing to accomplish. And here's the kicker, which is where most people fail, in a specific amount of time. So things that are time-bound are often a great strategy for actually accomplishing what it is that you want in a specific amount of time. So if you give yourself a week to do something, it'll most likely take a week. If you give yourself 5 days to do that thing, it'll most likely take you 5 days. Or I want 6 hours to accomplish this, versus I'm gonna try to get this done in 3 hours. So one of the fascinating things about this idea is that it really truly is remarkable how much we can accomplish in just a fraction of the time that we think it's going to take. Now, there are certain realities that we're confronting with, right? Like, you're not going to necessarily achieve a 6-month timeline worth of work in 2 weeks, you know, if you're one person, but that's also about understanding some objective, measurable outcomes as it relates to your efficacy with the work that you're doing. So one of the things that I have found to be really leverageable is to take to-do lists and break them down into time-bound chunks of time. And so essentially what we're talking about here is time blocking. So I allocate a specific amount of time to all of these items that are on my list. And so they could be anything from mowing the lawn, health and wellness, time with friends, cleaning the garage, deep work. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I think the important thing to focus on is, and this happens over time more easily because we have actual data to measure, is to leverage the power of clock time and to start timing our activities and tasks. So I am a big fan of scheduling 2 chunks of time per day to check my emails. Once kind of mid-morning and then towards the end of the day, just to ensure that there's no craziness that I need to handle right away, which, you know, for the most part there isn't, because That's another thing I think is so worthwhile talking about is like urgency is such a fucking made up thing. People are so schizophrenic. They're like, I need this yesterday all the time. Well, if you show up constantly in this state of like panic, and especially in a work environment, people are going to start labeling you. It's like a false flag. It's not even real. It's something that you've just made up in your head about how important things are. And really what it comes down to is a lack of clarity in prioritization. So this whole course, this whole section of the Growth Blueprint is about time management and prioritization. Those are two components that when fused together become extremely powerful. And you need clarity to understand prioritization, and time management is simply a system. That's it. So one leverages a system, the other one leverages, well, they're both systems, but in terms of the mechanism to which you achieve clarity, that's the system. But time management is a structure, how you approach your day. So okay, this is an interesting concept that I've been tooling around with. Maybe we'll walk a little bit further down. Enjoy. It's so beautiful today. So this is something that I would encourage you to try, and it's something that I train on. So if you take a calendar app, whichever one you want to use, I happen to use Apple Calendar. I use mostly all Apple integrated software. And I would like for you to create different calendars that are relevant based on topics. So as an example, a health and wellness calendar, absolutely non-negotiable. Then a family calendar, if that is relevant to you in your life, if you have a family. I mean, I know you have a family, of course, but whether you have kids, wife, husband, whatever, there's definitely unified activities that happen there. And then, you could also have another family calendar that if you happen to be very active with your in-laws and cousins and things like that, that could be something that you would then label as well. But for the most part, let's just stick to family as a general topic. Then you have your daily calendar, which I think is really important, which is things that are happening most days that you tend to do more or less the same time. And then you have your work calendar, where you're either blocking off the time that you are at work and then you have a separate calendar, or if you're an entrepreneur, we can get more granular about how we could then leverage different types of calendars that are correlated to projects. Because the more granular we get, the more specific, the tighter our flow. And especially when we're reviewing the calendar from a week or a month lens. And the color combinations are also really important. And I think it's really an opportunity to approach this with intention, where you are using colors that represent the vibe and energy of what those calendars represent. So in this instance, we have our family, our personal calendar, and health and wellness, and work as well. So, let me find a good place to chill out here. So, the health and wellness. okay? Let me just back up a little bit. So I think I want to just find a place to sit by the ocean. Woo! Feeling spicy. Look at all these little crabs. All right. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay. So, maybe I should go swimming. All right. Here we go. Here's the concept, high level. I want you to consider all of these activities as general rules for blocking out your day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And I want you to block out the moment one activity starts to the moment that activity ends. Driving time is included in that. So, health and wellness. I have my training schedule, which is every other day. And in general, I have it set at 3 p.m. So from 3 to 5 p.m., I have 2 hours blocked off for health and wellness. And some days it's a little bit more, some days it's a little bit less. So it takes me about 12 minutes to drive, a few minutes to park, walk down, go in. You know, there's some bullshit there. So it's not all actual training. It's to and from the house, walking, parking, just general bullshit. But it doesn't matter. I just delineated my calendar, the beginning of that activity, which is at 3 p.m. So at 3 p.m., I get dressed, which takes 2 seconds, get in the car, and get the fuck out. So generally, I'm back by the end of that 2 hours. And so that is a different way of approaching calendaring. So you account for travel time, you account for prep time. If there's something that you need to do in order to execute the activity, you would account for that. And I use the calendar as a living document, as a journal. This is so powerful because you have data that you can reflect on. And at the end of the week, you should be reflecting on the past week. If you were a little frustrated, you can see where your time went, where you focus your energy, okay? It's everything. Where attention goes, energy flows. Think about that. That's a mantra. Wherever you put your attention, all of your energy goes there. So if you're feeling depleted, if you're feeling like you didn't accomplish what you set out to accomplish that particular week, look at your calendar a week later and say, hey, I spent all this time doing this and that, and my aligned goals were this, and they're missing. So you know how to course correct for the following week. And it's not just good enough to say you want to do something, you fucking live it, man. That is the practice, and it's easier said than done, I get it. But over time, you build an anti-fragile mindset, a growth-oriented mindset, coupled with a deeper understanding of how to properly leverage time, like systems like what we're talking about now, and it just alleviates the resistance. You may feel resistance, but you're like, you motherfucker, bam, right fucking through it. Fuck that shit. It's not about not acknowledging it, it's about just accepting that some things that you're gonna do, you're not gonna wanna do in that moment. But as soon as you take action on it, for the most part, within a few minutes, you're like, that was fucking stupid. I can't believe I even thought about not doing it because it's aligned with my goals. It's gonna move me closer to where I wanna go, right? It's like understanding the motive behind motivation, something we spoke about a lot last week. So, I think it's important to be consistent over time with everything that you do. Consistency is king. You can show up every fucking day and practice the consistent mindset, and you will have such a profound impact in your life, in the world around you, the people that you love and support. And this starts with understanding when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up. And the more consistent we are at this, the more our body will reciprocate in kind. So the first thing I do every morning when I wake up is I adjust in my calendar what time I woke up at. And that could be you pick up your phone and you just delineate it, or you have your workstation, and it's not an invitation to fucking open your phone and check Instagram and do all this shit. No, it's an invitation to log accurately when you woke up. That's the main thing. So I give myself 1 hour for my morning routine. So I have a recurring event. It says good morning. It's 1 hour. It's in my daily calendar. So it's always the same color. And there's just the bars running across when you look at the week view. And that time block moves up and down depending on when I woke up. And I do it religiously without fail. I'm in the practice of journaling. I'm in the practice of leveraging my time so I'm more effective with my time. And if I do feel overwhelmed, I can always revert back to my calendar and get a clear sense of the direction that I'm going in. And often that lack of clarity is the catalyst for feeling overwhelmed. And when you have clarity, bam, everything syncs up, everything falls into place like it's some kind of magic ingredient or whatever. Getting a little noisy over here. So when we wake up, we just drag in the calendar. It's so easy, okay? You just drag it there. Woke up at 7:59, bam, put it in, 7:59. Not 8 o'clock, it was 7:59 when you got out of bed. So that's an important thing, is to be honest. Don't lie. Don't lie to yourself. That is craziness. You are simply logging what the reality of your calendar is. You're not making things up. It's like going to the gym and saying you did 12 reps when in reality, you little sneaky fuck, you did 9, No one is checking that shit. You're just lying to yourself. Or if you're tracking your macros and you're like, put on the scale, and in reality it's like a little bit more, but just because that number was gonna push your fucking macros over for the day, it meant more to you to keep it in line even though that you were full of shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know, if you're doing that, fucking I've done it a few times, of course, because, you're in a mood or whatever. But the whole point is to be in practice and to be consistent with your actions. So I give myself an hour. I have my morning ritual, my ceremony, my routine, whatever you want to fucking call it. I give myself an hour. And I want to be able to wake up, do everything that I do, and then be ready for my next event within an hour. And depending on the day, it changes. But this facet of my calendaring is consistent. So it is possible that on certain days when I'm scheduled to train, it's not happening at 3. It's not about being so rigid that you feel like you need to absolutely do the thing in that moment. No, you have total freedom and control. The main practice is for you to have a reflection at the end of the week on the past week. And you can only do that accurately if you're being authentic with yourself. You're not full of shit. You're logging when things start and when things finish, and retroactively going back and modifying when you need to. So there are some activities that for whatever reason, I don't have my phone or something, and it's like, oh, take a mental mark. I finished this at this time, and then we drove, and then we got back here. So you go back in your calendar, and then you accurately represent what it is that took place. Use the title of the event entry as an opportunity to write, to use as a diary, so that when you look at your calendar from a week view, for example, which I think is probably the best view for getting a clear snapshot, you could put unlimited text in an entry. I mean, at least with Apple, maybe not unlimited, but way more than, dinner with friends or whatever. So it's like, use that opportunity to take quick notes about how you felt, or what was it about this particular activity that excited you, or was something that you needed to improve on, or whatever. You use it as an opportunity to reflect, to take control over your power, to be more present is really what it comes down to. So being dynamic is also something that I think is a learnt skill. And you can benefit from being very rigid at first to rewire how you think about managing time. But over the course of many weeks and practice, you can develop strategies that help support not feeling like you're a robot. Okay, this is so important, because I think one of the great joys of life is spontaneity, being open to new things, and to have an opportunity to take advantage of in that moment is important. Now, I think there are certain seasons of life where we're all locked into our work and we're looking to make more meaningful progress, and we have to be really conscious of that when opportunities come up, and we have to really get clarity on whether those opportunities are actually going to enrich our life, or they're going to really be short-term distractions of indulgences and pleasure that we're then going to have to recover in order to get back to where we are. And that's never a good thing. For example, just in my personal life, on Saturday, I went to a rave. I'm shooting this on Friday, so I'm going tomorrow. But anyways, so went to a rave, all day party during the day, midnight. I'm calling it quits because that's when the party ends. Of course there's afters, of course, you know what I'm saying. It's like you could be up for 3 days if you wanted to, but that's not serving me in this moment right now. I'm locked in to making gains in the gym, in my business, and having clarity in my mind about what I want. I know that sleep is of the utmost importance, and I'm not willing to compromise it more than midnight. So in reality, by the time you get home, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever, you know what I mean. So the point is that I'm scheduling the fun, I'm scheduling the debauchery, I'm scheduling the recovery that I need in order to be at my best. This is gonna take time, and this is gonna take some planning, knowing what my next week is gonna look like based on my actions right fucking now. You can only get a clear picture when you have everything laid out in front of you. So, for example, right, going back to my calendar, health and wellness, every other day, it's just on a rotating automatic thing. I don't have to think about it. My morning routine is locked in every fucking day. My bedtime, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. every single day. If that changes, all I do is click and slide. And it may seem tedious, and it may seem like, oh fuck, this is crazy. Look, just try it. Shut the fuck up and try it. You have nothing to say until you invest in yourself for 30 days. Just try it. Track everything you do and reconnect with me and tell me how much more aligned you feel, how much less overwhelm exists in your life, because you have a clear strategy for how to log your time, reflect on how you spent that time, and then being dynamic and adaptable in understanding that not everything is set in stone. So, creating a rhythm within your day is so important. And this gives you clarity on what that rhythm is going to look like. So my calendar for health and wellness is in orange. My personal one is in like this pink color. We have a fun calendar. So all of the fun shit that my wife and I do together with our friends, that's in fun. We have recurring events. There's a fantastic nightclub / bar in the town right next to us, and they're open every single day. On Sunday, they have a hip hop night. On Tuesday, they have a jam session. Those are 2 nights that we absolutely love. And it's in the calendar. Whether we go to that or not, it doesn't matter. At least it's there as an option, and we see it when we're planning our week. So it's like, oh, we should go to Tintin tonight, or whatever, on Sunday. And then you can plan accordingly. And if you don't go, that's fine, but at least it's there. Things that are coming up on a weekly basis, monthly basis, whatever, you have clarity because you've already done the work. You know that these are options that if you want to take advantage of, they're there for you. Just like your kid's school calendar. I'm speaking to parents. Fucking put it in. Make a new calendar, specific kids' school. If they go to 2 different schools, you have, whatever, Billy and Sammy, whatever. And so you have clarity as to what is going on in their lives that you can then use to better support them. And, you can go even deeper if you have curriculum that you can attach to, like in our kids' school, they have their own calendars. And so I know what they're working on when, which is really great because that informs different conversations that we're having at home. And, I'm not relying on our kids to bring me information. I have it already mapped out. So the recurring events is something that you should be leveraging because you just fucking plug it in and that's it. Checking emails. I have an emails and reminders block. It's about 15 minutes. And I do that block twice a day. Sometimes it takes me the full 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes me more. It doesn't matter. You adjust, you go back in. And so the end result is that your calendar should be color-coded from the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And you're like, oh man, that's crazy. Whoa, fuck. You know what? What's crazy is living like a pinball machine, reacting to every fucking thing and not having clarity about how you're going to leverage your day to amplify what it is that you're looking to achieve in your life. Getting clarity on where your energy goes, where your attention goes, is the backbone to the byproduct and the product that you're going to be getting at the end of the day. So you have all these byproducts of accomplishment, and then you have your singular focus that should be at the forefront of what you're looking to do every day. Now, I plan rest and recovery, I plan downtime, I plan fucking everything because I don't want to leave anything to chance. I know that after I finish training, I want about an hour of like rest, recovery, eating time. So I schedule that in. Reset, shower, eating. Sometimes I'll even write down what it is that I ate, And so what this does is it preps my mind for every time I happen to open my phone or, there's no like second guessing what it is that you're doing, okay? You have clarity, you have focus, you have drive. You're looking at your calendar, you have a vision for the future. And it's important to create that vision from a place of consistency. So you can break down particular projects that you're doing. You color code them with respective calendars. Like right now, my calendar is primarily all blue, which is everyday action. And I have all my clients are in yellow. And that particular calendar is synced to my booking platform, so there'll be never an opportunity where I'm double booked. Whoa, fuck. My clients take precedence. So if I have a client meeting, you know, there's clearly a window in which the clients can book and for how many days out and so forth, but that overrides everything in my calendar because I'm here to serve. And I've already said in my mind that this time to this time during these days, my calendar is open for clients unless there's a client that has booked. So there's never any duplicate, there's never any issue for people not being able to book if there's an availability. And I know that if there's something that is really important that I need to do during that period of time, I just input it as a client and I say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm doing whatever on those days. But, you know, for example, my training can be more dynamic. Let's say I get a call or a schedule for the next day and it's my training day and I have my training block set up and a client coaching session comes in. Well, you know what? That takes precedent because I can always move my training further up the day or back, you know, and it's not about like doing it right at 3. It's about fucking doing it, you know, and it's like, you can't be a fucking robot. And I know it may seem like I'm saying 2 different things at the same time, but I'm not. Having a clear understanding of your life is such a powerful feeling, and not guessing what it is that you're going to be doing and getting granular as fuck, getting into the weeds, the microscopic aspects of what you're doing. And so when you lay out your projects, when you lay out your blocks of time, consider your actions within that time period. And so you may consider doing like a 4-hour chunk of like where you label deep work, whatever that is, okay? So you should be moving your body every hour on the hour as a simple rule. So you can then insert movement breaks every hour on the hour for 10 minutes. You will be more productive. You will have more energy. You are not leveraging your power by sitting in a chair for 4 hours straight. It is not effective. I don't care what you think you're doing and you're like, oh, you know, look at me, how much I've accomplished in this amount of time. Could you imagine how much more you would have accomplished if you would have taken 10-minute breaks every hour on the hour, stretched your legs, drank a glass of water, did a couple body weight squats, couple lunges, whatever. Played around with a resistance band, look out of the window, go for a 10-minute walk, reset your fucking shit, change the context, and reclaim your power when you sit in with intention for your next 1-hour time block. Understanding that you can have multiple calendars, multiple layers that are a reflection of your intention, but also reality. When things didn't go as planned, you must absolutely go back and modify it. This is a living document, one that you can use to reflect on how things are going in your life as a living diary, a journal. I have shifted my thinking about journaling profoundly because I have been really focused on journaling within the calendar. I find it to be a much more profound practice than to journal in a book, for example. And that's just me. I used to do that up until recently, and I forget how many days I had a streak with my journaling, and it was great. But then I was like, well, let's change it up a little bit. Let's use this calendar as a living document to be able to have an accurate archive of time, because it's the only asset we can never get back. You make money, lose money, gain energy, lose energy. You can always reclaim it. But time, bam, it's fucking done, baby. It's cooked. You don't get more time. You fucking waste it, it's gone forever. And you got a short fucking life, my friend. And not to leverage it effectively and to do the things that you want to be doing is so sad. So take advantage of what you have in your brain and get clarity with how to properly account for time and how to plan. So we haven't really spoken much about planning. This hour seems to have gone way fast. Maybe we're going to be doing another episode on time management where I go deep, or maybe I'm going to publish another podcast this week about time management, because it's just one of those topics that I think we can all improve on, including myself. And the main thing is the practice of recording time. And when we're doing this, we understand better how long things actually took. So our brains are horrible at guessing how much something is going to take in terms of time, right? Like, oh, it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour. And you're like, oh, fuck, it's been like 4 hours. I'm like, oh, shit. You know, that's like a real thing that people struggle with, that are constantly battling against this idea of how much time things are actually taking, which is why you set a timer, which is why you block out time, and which is why you equate time to tasks. Because if you just have a general to-do list and it just fucking like 18 miles long, you're like, oh fuck. Obviously you're fucking overwhelmed. You have 900 things on that to-do list and you have 24 hours and hopefully 9 of which you're in bed. And you know, it's like, what? Why do I feel like my heart is going to explode? It's because you have a fucking mile-long to-do list. That's why. It's unreasonable in the worst kind of way. And 90% of it is probably bullshit anyways. Fucking crazy. I mean, I was the king of making these massive to-do lists back in the day. And it just was overwhelm in a bottle. Like, it was like a pill that I used to take. I'm like, let me feel like my life is chaotic. Look at my to-do list. Let me throw up for a second. Fuck that shit. You can accomplish so much more in less time if you're really, really clear on the tasks and priorities that are unified for moving the needle forward, okay? Again, we talk about clarity so much because it is really the catalyst for alleviating overwhelm, for feeling like you're in flow, for feeling like you're able to create more with less. You may have a stacked day, but at least your brain is mentally prepared. And that alone is so powerful because you're opening up yourself to being in a greater state of receiving, okay, through this idea of abundance by having clarity with how you're managing your time. Because if you never know what's next, and then you have this reactive mode that you're fighting against, your body is like constantly just trying, it's like you're underwater trying to get that last gasp of air, you know? It doesn't lend itself to being as effective as you think you are. We haven't even spoken about multitasking. That's a fucking Ponzi scheme and a half. And, you know, we have a few more minutes left before the hour ends. And I just want to say, stop that shit. Stop fucking multitasking. It's a fallacy. It's not real. And it's compromising your ability to deliver high impact work. It is not a thing you want to be engaged in. Leave your phone in the other room, turn off those fucking notifications. Just focus on the thing. That's it. Make the thing the thing. You know, distractions, talk about the devil. Distractions are killing your productivity. I mean, killing it. And the more focused we can be, the more output we have of higher quality. That is so important to resonate with that, okay? It's like the distractions are eating up your day, your mental bandwidth. Multitasking is fucking fake, okay? It doesn't exist. And I'm sure you have had people say like, oh yeah, I'm great at multitasking. I multitask all the time. You know, it's like every time I kind of laugh, I'm like, that is a recipe for mediocre fucking output. And that's not you. You're here to amplify the quality of the work. You're here to get a deeper and more powerful connection to the thing that you're doing. Understanding the way you feel in the moment for the tasks are a great way for you to channel something in the future. It's like you can talk about manifestation here, okay? I'm gonna leave you with this one thing, okay? This last thing here. This is an important topic. I think we gotta do more of these. You know, it's like breaking it down. There's so much to cover. I think I'm gonna have to do another podcast this week. Maybe go deep on more specific things. Okay, bringing it back. In every moment of the day that you are transitioning, whether you're walking in and out of a door frame, getting into a car, dramatically changing the context, your environment, the work, shifting from work to family, to children, to helping your neighbor, whatever the fucking thing is, okay? I want you to take a moment and recenter yourself. Just take a few breaths. Just fucking stop. Just stop for one moment. Take one breath if that's all that you have. Take 5, take 4, take 10, take 20 minutes, whatever you need. But be present, be mindful of your actions, what you're thinking about, and how you're feeling. Because I can tell you that if you've been working in an office all day and you're on your way home and your head is still locked in to those fucking TPS reports, Bob Lumbar, shout out. You're not ready to receive your children. You're not ready to receive your partner in a way that's going to amplify love, compassion, joy. You're still at fucking work. You're still TPS reports. Okay? You can flip the script on that motherfucker by doing one thing. By channeling how you want to feel when you transition from one thing to another. Just take a breath. Take a breath right now. Just one conscious breath. That's all it takes to reclaim your power, to shift from unconscious to conscious. That's it. We're in a state of reacting all the fucking time. And so the next time you make a transition, maybe it's when you finish watching this video and you have to go do something else. Just take a breath. Be in gratitude for what the day was, what the experience was, what the meeting was. In between meetings is a perfect opportunity to do it. Every time you cross a threshold. Maybe you're in the car, in the driveway, and your automatic, always you, always on reaction is just turn the keys off and go in the house, and then bam, the fucking kids and the wife and the dog and the fucking cats and the 12 birds and the world. No wonder people are out of their fucking minds. So what I want you to do is, we'll use that example, right? Ideally, you would have done this before driving, right? This probably would have solved all kinds of problems, but maybe you didn't. The most important thing, when you get into your driveway, just take a minute, take 5 minutes, take however long you need to reclaim your power, to reclaim you, the loving, compassionate, gentle, supportive, connected, present you that your family needs. Reclaim that shit. Feel yourself. There's nothing you can do with regards to your work shit. That's done. Your kids, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your partner, your dogs, whatever, your grandparents, your parents, whatever, they're waiting for you across that threshold. Show up. Be present. Connect with them. Receive. Share in gratitude for them. You can't do that if you're fucking back at work. Take some breaths. One breath, it's all it takes to reclaim your power. Do more if you want, but you only need one conscious breath. Close your eyes, take a breath. Just be still for a moment. And channel within you how you want to feel and how you want to show up for yourself first and foremost, so that you can be in service to the people and the animals and the space and the energy that's waiting for you on the inside. You want to come through that threshold empowered, feeling love and connection, ready to receive their love. They want nothing more to see you. It's like your partner waiting for you. Go give them a hug, give them a kiss. Hold that kiss for 5 seconds. Hold that hug for 10 seconds. Really connect. Tell them you love them, hug them, hold them. Ask them about their day. Ask them how they're feeling. Your kids, your partner. That transition is only as powerful as you allow it to be. Sitting in that car thinking about how you want to show up for them, for yourself. This is the work we do together on this channel, Inside the Growth Blueprint, with the one-on-one coaching and guidance. If you're looking to up your game, click the link below, join our program, connect with us on Thursday for the free group coaching and training. We're all about time management and prioritization this week. It's a spicy one. It's a spicy one. Thanks so much for dropping in. I love that you guys tune in every week. It's all about amplifying the human experience, making the world a better place through our actions, feeling strong, feeling powerful. I love it. What a gorgeous day. Get outside, get your sweat on. See you on Thursday. Thanks for dropping in, everybody.